television, that's fine. But do you think it points to a bigger story in the world today, in this country today?
Well, one of the points that I put forward that has become rather markedly popular is the notion that the meaning that sustains you in times of trouble will be found as a consequence of adopting responsibility. See, and this is another thing conservatives haven't been very good at communicating to young people, because conservatives tend to be somewhat finger wagging in their morality. You should do this.
Right.
And, fair enough, there are things you should do, but there's a better story there, and the story is the one that you started to outline, which is, well, if you look at what you have at hand when times get rough, let's say, which they certainly will, you'll find that most of the genuine self-esteem that you feel and the cessation of anxiety and the pursuit of happiness is a consequence of bearing responsibility, right? You bear responsibility for yourself over the long run, for your wife or your husband over the long run, for your family, for your community, and that's a reciprocal interaction, so you'll get paid back by the people you're helping for doing that, but it also is an intrinsic source of meaning.
But you don't do it for that reason, too.
No, you do it because everything works if you do that. So the other thing, see, we thought for a long time, and this is actually could be laid at the feet of psychologists to some degree, that your happiness or even your mental stability is somehow an internal thing. It's psychological, but that's not exactly right. Your mental health and your happiness, so your freedom from anxiety and your happiness, is dependent on the harmony that you establish within the systems that you're embedded. So you can't be sane and happy without a long-term partner. And the data on that is quite clear, because married people are a lot happier than unmarried people. Okay? You can't be sane and together within a couple without having a family. It might be your parents and your siblings, but it should also be children, because you have to knit that together. And then your family can't function without a functioning neighborhood, and then a community, and then a state. And the sanity is the harmony between all those levels. It's not something you carry around inside you. And it's partly key to sanity being embedded at all those levels, because none of us are capable in and of ourselves of regulating ourselves. Like when you and I are even talking right now, the communication regulates. We regulate each other with the communication, right? You're saying things, I'm saying things. We're trying to keep it interesting. We're trying to move forward, in a productive manner.
We're both stimulated and intrigued.
Exactly. Well, right. So we have a container, which is the goal, and then there's interest being manifested. And if we do that right, we pull everyone in. Well, that's a good situation, right? And then your emotions are well regulated when all of that is happening. That key to that is responsibility.
You're a deep thinker.